Yo guys, what is going on? Alex Pandrea here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're talking about flourishing. Flourishing while you're performing. Is it something that you do? Is it something that you don't want to do to show off too much, to bring too much attention of, oh, that guy has fast hands? If you're like me, I sort of dabble with, okay, what's too much? Is a spring too much? Or is when I have them pick a card, when I fan the cards, people go, oh wow, you don't play cards with this guy. So sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I do. That's all gonna depend on the situation. But these three things that I'm gonna show you in this tutorial, I find myself doing sometimes in performances. So hopefully you will like them as well. So without further ado, let's get into today's tutorial. Alright, let's just jump straight into this video. In today's video, I am going to be using a deck of cards that is not produced by me, funny enough. It is produced by a friend of mine, and it is in its last day on Kickstarter. So if you like these playing cards that I'm going to be using in this tutorial, you could check out the link below. They're called Jerry Can playing cards. They have a very nice design, whether you're American or not. This is obviously using the American flag as a design concept, but whether you are from the US or not, this design is very cool for playing card collectors and the likes. The project is not funded as of yet on Kickstarter, so I know it would mean a lot to Jared and to, I think, the community as a whole if we back behind projects that are smaller and really can't get the funding that it needs to make their sort of projects come true, their dreams come true. And I thought it would be cool to show off somebody else's deck on this channel rather than Knox, and okay, we get it, bro, relax. So I'm sort of paying it forward here. Jerry Can playing cards available now, link below. Time is of the essence of this one. Only a few hours left. All right, let's talk about a few flourishes that stay. All right, let's talk about a flourish. A few. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't speak. I can't shuffle. I can't shuffle anyway. I don't know. People that know me know I can't do it. That's one thing that you might have noticed. I cannot do a regular overhand shuffle for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what that reason is. I haven't pinpointed it just yet. Maybe it's just because I haven't really practiced a real overhand shuffle because I never shuffle that way. I mean, who shuffles that way? The first one looks like this. It is a half and half sort of deck flip where you're flipping the top half of the deck over and the bottom half of the deck over as a deck flip. You do it at the same time and you get one of these. It has no actual use besides just being fun to do. Let's take a look at what we're doing here. So the top packet, you're grabbing about half the deck with the right hand like this, and it's going to go in a counterclockwise rotation if you kind of look at it like this, right? So it's going to come, this left side is going to come towards you. Then you're going to see the face of the deck, and then it's going to rotate around like this, okay? So this way. And it'll be obvious because it'll be impossible to do it the other way, so you won't get it wrong. But you're holding the deck with the middle ring finger and pinky on the top end here, and you're grabbing the bottom with the thumb. And then the first finger is on top of here. Now, it's the first finger that's going to do most of the action by pushing more towards the middle, and then coming downwards with the finger, and what that does is that it starts the rotation, but at the same time as you do this, you want your hand to come up, your wrist, you don't want your whole hand to come up, just your wrist, kicking that out like this, all right? And as you do that, you let go, and your first finger pushes down and then pushes up a little bit to give it a little kick, all right? So it pushes down, and then it pushes out, down, out, and then wrist comes up, and then you just let it go, and then you get that one spin of the top of the deck like that. All right, step number one. Sometimes cards will fling out depending on if they're bent in certain ways. By the way, if you want to check out a video that uses a bend as a revelation to this type of spin, I will leave the link on one of these corners that you can go ahead and learn a flourish that takes advantage of a mistake that I was having when I would do this and a card would fly. But for this one, we don't need any cards flying out. We just need them to all stay in one place. Also, another thing to keep in mind, you want your hand to come sort of out of the way after you do this because you don't want it to get sort of caught up like that. That happens sometimes, believe it or not. So you want your hand out of the way after you do the move, all right? The bottom packet is just going to be a deck flip, and all we're doing with this is you're holding it just in a dealer's grip, and you're sort of bowing it down just a little bit. You want just a little bit of bow because you don't want, again, cards coming out. This, I feel like, is the flourish that a lot of people do, and then the cards just jump out, myself included. So I just bend it up just a little bit. You can do that right before, but just give it a nice, so that all the cards sort of are in the same orientation. Because if, like I said, if one is bent like this, it's going to come out. Of course, you could use that, again, to your advantage if you could come up with a revelation with that. But nonetheless, boom, that's how it's going to look. In slow motion, it's 1, 2, your first finger comes down, and it's really these 3 fingers. It's the middle finger, it's the thumb, and it's the first finger. It's going to kick it up. All right, kick it up, and then the first finger does that. And once it does that, it's going to flip around this time the other way to this. All right, and that's what's going to make it look really nice when you put these 2 together. It's going to look like they're going in separate directions because they are going separate directions. And then at the same time, boom. Okay, that's 1. The second little fidget move looks something like this. And it's just a nice way to, when you have 2 sort of piles of cards, you can do this and flick the cards back onto the deck, but with an added extra bonus. Basically, you're doing the instant replay move from Paul Harris, but with multiple cards. So if you take more than, oh, look at that. This is a very cool, by the way, this deck is designed really nicely with different things. I mean, obviously you could check out the link below, but top secret, and has a cool little thing on there. Anyway, back to the video. This move, what was I saying? This move was intended to do with 1 card instant replay, but of course you can do it with a whole packet. And the way that I came up with this move is from, there was an old flourish back in the day, one of the first flourishes that came out, called the 360 spider, and it looks something like this, where you do that with half, that didn't look like that. Dropping cards all over today. The 360 spider looked like this, and then the cards go into the middle, and it was a Dan and Dave flourish. And when I started doing that with a bunch of cards, and then I realized if I keep my thumb with pressure on there while I do that move, 1 card will stay in my right hand, and I could use that as a revelation, which was pretty cool. And now I do it anytime that I have a packet like this in that hand, whether I do that 360 spider flourish or not. But all you're doing is here, you're holding the cards just like that, and I'm getting it a little bit further in with the thumb. So the thumb is not here, but it's further in like that. You're just first finger, just kicking it out. So you'll notice a lot of these flourishes is that first finger doing that. And then it's just rotating off of these fingers, mainly the middle finger. And then it's coming around like that. So you could take half the deck, a quarter of the deck, whatever it is, and then it just comes off like this. And now to get that 1 card, you just put a little bit more pressure with the thumb and bend it down a little bit. And dislodging, right before you're doing the move, you're dislodging it from here, from the top of the packet, and then doing the move, keeping this card. And now that card is going to be stuck now between the first and thumb. Which is really nice, because even if you had a revelation, you could be like, look, I don't know exactly where your card is. You could do any sort of thing with this hand and then be like, 1 card stands out of the rest, and then get that as a revelation. Or you can just do it as a fidget kind of thing where you're here, and then you're there. Okay? So boom, boom, and there. The next one could be used as a flourish like this, or even a control like that. It's fun to do. I like to do it sometimes and really get some good height on it if I really want to show off, which I hardly do. But nonetheless, this is how it looks. You take a packet in midair, you spin it, and then you catch it back like this. It's really nice for photos. If you could catch that 1 packet in the middle of the air, try to do that. You're going to start with a sort of Z position, your typical Z cardistry flourish first position, where you're grabbing the cards just like this. You're kicking up with the first finger, grabbing the bottom packet, and now lifting up everything and keeping pressure with the thumb. You're going to get this. So between the first finger of the left hand and the thumb is the middle packet. All right. Now you're going to swing the right hand into the right side while your left hand swings to the left side, and this is what's going to happen. You see? That's what's going to happen with the packets. And all you got to do is just do that with enough force and speed that it will rotate the packet up in midair, and then you come back and you catch it. There's not really much explaining to this besides doing it in slow motion for you guys. Like this. And then let go, more pressure, and then like that. Okay, and if you want to do it just like that, usually what I would do is do a few cuts. I would do a swing cut, boom, swing cut with that second packet, hold a break, and now come back, do this, and right away I'm ready to go, and I don't even have to get into the position because I already have a break, and my thumb could just contact that card and then kick that out like that, okay? So here, here, and there. And if you want to take it up a notch to do it as a control, you can do that as well by saying, okay, go ahead, place your card back here. They place their card back here. You break now the bottom packet with the pinky, all right? Now I'm going to keep cutting the cards just like this and hold another break with the third finger, which is the ring finger. I don't know if you could see that right there. Place this here. And now I'm going to do the flourish by kicking everything up, which is the middle packet, which is here is the selected card. I'm doing this, and now I'm just coming and placing the right hand packet in the middle rather than on top. So here's the selected card, 7 of spades. They go ahead, they place it back just like that. You get a break underneath, split this, hold another break as you cut, lift up, grab this, do that, and it's a nice sort of way to do this flourish while, if you're into flourishing while doing performances, it's a nice way to also control a card just by doing that, okay? And the spectators, once they see, this, they don't know exactly where that packet goes, if it's in the middle, if it's on top. You've already done a few cuts before that they shouldn't really pay attention to where that packet is anyway, but that's just something cool to play around with. All right, I give up. All right, guys, there you have it. That was the video. If you like the cards, you could go ahead, check them out with the link down in the description. Also, by the way, a lot of comments in the comments section of where do you get this card, or where do I learn this or that. Always check the links down below in all of my videos, because I have there where you can start learning magic, where you could get the playing cards that I use in my videos and the cards that I produce. So a lot of your questions will be answered by just clicking down and looking down at the description section. Question of the day today is, what is your favorite flourish to do while performing? So while you're performing, would you do a spring? Would you do a fan? Is a spring too much? Or would you throw up the card and try to catch it in a fan? Not like me. What's your favorite thing to do while performing as a flourish? And if you don't like to do any of that sort of stuff, sort of like me, go ahead, leave that in the comments as well. I want to see the ratio of what people are thinking, or what sort of audience I have here on YouTube. Is it the crazy fidget ones, or is it the more subtle sleight of hand ones? Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you very shortly on the next video.